Hello, and welcome to the last week of the vlog. It is 10 o'clock at night on a Sunday night when I'm kicking this off. Yesterday was a horrible, awful, no good, very bad day, and I didn't read anything. That's not true. I read the volumes 1 and 2 of Check Please, which is not anywhere on my TBR, but I did need to read it for her kids, so I read volumes 1 and 2 yesterday, and part of volume 3 yesterday, and then today I finished volumes 3 and 4, so my her kid webcomic is done. Completely done. I did most of it yesterday, a little bit today. Now, what else have I done or needed to do? I did nothing yesterday as far as reading books go. I listened to a tiny bit of At Your Service, and that's it. So today I finished Pet, which was due back to the library, so I had to switch things around. I don't know if I did that at the end of the last vlog or not, but I had to move everything around so I could move Pet earlier in the last of this month. So I finished Pet. I'm pretty sure that only counts. I'm only counting that for the her kid prompt, but I need to get my thing open so we can make sure. Anyway, here it is over here, which means I can go ahead and change the transparency on it. And over here, I can change it. And as you can see, you can't see because I'm blocking it, but under my head right here is Check Please 1 and 2. They're done. So they got their colors changed. And then Pet is done. Let me move that off. Okay. So I have one more and I'll be done with the rainbow, the LGBTQIA plus rainbow colors. That'll all be done. I have 2 up here to finish to do my alphabet, and I'm reading, those are the next 2 books I'm reading, Barracoon and One Hit Wonder, so that's almost done. So it's looking really good over here. Now for my actual, The Secret Life to Country Gentlemen is the only thing I have left for my buzzword book. Both of my Eldia books are done. No, it's not. Barracoon is my other Eldia book that I'm reading for Adrian. My Emmeline book is done. Adrian is not done. So then over here, let's see, Pet was for this one. So I do get to count it for Aurelium. So let me make sure I enter that over here. Also, I didn't say, I'm going to give Pet 5 stars. I thought it was really, really well done. I don't know that there's anything that I feel like could be changed by it. I loved it. A short, but very good read. So I'm going to give it 5 stars. Also, I haven't talked about Check Please anywhere, but Check Please, I'm going to give volumes 1 and 2, that combination that I read, I gave that 4.5 stars, and then 3 and 4, I gave 4.75 stars. I just felt like there was a whole lot of everybody accepting everybody, and everything was wonderful, and of course, everybody was just great and nice, and we all know that that's not how the real world is, so it was just a little bit too everything works out all right, even though y'all know if you've been here for a minute, I love an everything works out all right book. So, okay, I'm going to try to finish At Your Service tonight, which is a Team Nico book. And then tomorrow I'm starting Barracoon, which is clearly right here and not over here. So it is only Battle of the Bands, which is fine. And I changed this up a little bit. So what I did was I added up out here to the side. You can see, well, right under me, you can see these numbers that are here. These are the hours that these books take to listen to. So I finished Pet. I need to do that, and then I will just remove that from there. So what I did was I added up the total number of hours, which I'm kind of blocking. Let me move. Is 83 hours, and I divided it by 12 because that's how many days I had left to read, and it was 7.5 hours per day is what I was trying to read. So today I read 4 hours of Eyes and then 3 hours of Pet. So technically I'm done, but because I shifted Pet and I didn't read yesterday, that's why I need to finish At Your Service. But then tomorrow I will finish The Eyes Are the Best part, which will be like 5 hours, and then At Your Service, no, and then Barracoon, which is 2 hours. So that's my 7 hours tomorrow. And then on the next day, it's the next books that add up to 7 hours. That's how I did it. So our 7.5 to 8 hours. So that's how I did it. Everything is finished. On the 29th, I finished The Running Man and Amal Unbound. And that's all. That'll be everything read. The problem is Passions in Death. When am I going to finish it? I'm going to finish it on Friday the 25th, and it's the last book that I have for the TBR quest. I forgot what it's called, the TBR trail quest thing, and I'm not sure if I have to be finished by the 24th or the 25th, so I might switch Hidden Pictures and not Passions in Death. What is it that I have to read? Oh, A Killer's Code. No, I'm not finishing that until on Saturday. So I may have to move A Killer's Code up to try to finish it. I'll just switch it with Pictures, Moving Pictures, and Passion and Death. I'll just swap the two. They're exactly 10 hours. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do. So let me write this right here, A Killer's Code. And then down here, let me write Moving Pictures. Okay, great. And then everywhere that I have Moving Pictures, I'm just going to replace it with Code. And then everywhere that I have Code, I'm going to replace it with Pictures. So that means I finish my code book on the 23rd, and I think everything is due on the 24th. So that will be perfect. So that's Pictures, not Pictured. And also then I will finish it the next day. Okay. So that's great. So I'm glad that I looked at that and figured that out, because I want to finish. That's the last one I have. I did the bonus, which took my picture under a tree. I did that. And then I have read 5 of the 6 prompts that I needed, but I needed to read my highest rated book, like on Goodreads, highest rated. And that is A Killer's Code at 4.49. A Killer's Code is my highest rated book. So I needed to read that one for that prompt. So that's what I'm going to do, switching things around just a tiny bit. It doesn't mean anything. It just means when I finish reading The Twits, which is the very last Battle of the Bands book that I have, then I will start A Killer Code. And I need to change this to 19 and 11, just in case I get activated as an encore reader. These are the 5, the ones that have numbers beside them, are the 5 books that I'm going to read for the encore reader, which just has to be done by the end of the month, and I will definitely be done. But we have quite a few people on my team for Battle of the Bands who have already finished their 20 books. So I'm not, if I'm not going to get activated as an encore reader, then I'm going to look and only read the books that I need to read for the month. Anyway, none of that matters, except that tomorrow I will be starting Barracoon after I finish The Eyes Are the Best Part. For The Eyes Are the Best Part, I'm about halfway through, and this girl, the nightmares have started. I'm calling them nightmares. I don't know that she thinks they're nightmares, but anyway, she dreams about eyeballs, specifically blue eyes of this man who is in her life in a sort of way, in a specific way. And she dreams about his eyes, and she really wants to kill him and eat his eyes, only because she wants to kill him, number one. And then I think eating his eyes is just a thing that she is fascinated by, because his eyes are blue and they're so different than what her eyes look like. And her family, the people in her family, their eyes are all dark. And her mom is obsessed with eating fish eyes. And so there's a whole lot of the fish eye thing going on. And she's got a sister who is like, that is disgusting, which is exactly how I would feel. But she and her mom are eating the fish eyes all the time. So I don't know. She's kind of spiraling, but also we're getting hints that she's always had a little something wrong with her. Always. We're finding out things that she did, and when she's called on it or caught out in a lie or a manipulative situation, she's always like, I don't know why I did that. Or she just pushes it off on something else, blames something else, and moves right along with her life. And I don't know how long that's going to last, but I'm kind of excited about the second half of it and what's going to happen. I was very worried about this book, and it's turning out to be, number one, much more of a kind of slow fall into this life and also just a better read in general than I was thinking it was going to be. So that's it. At your service, we're dealing with the people. I mean, I don't know. I'm like 30 books in at this point, but there is a restaurant called Topped, and there's the chef that works there and a new person that has been hired recently, and she lost her arm in Afghanistan when she was active duty. Everybody that works there, not everybody has been prior military, but they prioritize hiring military people at Topt because the guy who owns it is ex-military. So anyway, she and he are trying to work things out. So they're going to end up falling in love, I'm sure. And I'm going to finish that tomorrow. No, I'm going to finish it tonight. I only have like an hour and 20 minutes left. So I'm going to go upstairs. I'm going to get ready for bed, listen to it while I'm in bed, and then hopefully finish it and go to sleep. And tomorrow, finishing the eyes, reading Barracoon, also getting to page 50 in Witch Hat Atelier. I don't know how you say it, but hopefully getting to page 50 in that tomorrow. I don't work at the library until later in the afternoon, but I do have work to do here in the morning. Not working out tomorrow, so I should have some time. So that is it for tonight, getting us all kicked off and everything that's going to be happening tomorrow. And then I will just come down here and get to work first thing in the morning, and I will check in with y'all. I might come check in the morning and tell you about At Your Service, although I doubt it because it's a romance. They're going to fall in love and everything's going to be great. So unless something earth-shattering happens, I'll probably just check in when I finish The Eyes Are the Best Part and Barracoon, because I'm reading all of Barracoon tomorrow, which, like I said, is just 2 hours. So I think that's everything. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Y'all, it is Monday morning. I woke up this morning and spent about an hour just laying in bed listening to The Eyes Are the Best Part because I didn't want to read it last night. I'm 84% of the way through, and it is so gross. Like, I don't think I'm giving anything away, but I have to tell y'all. So let's see if I can talk about it. This is so gross. Anyway, okay. So we all know that she is having dreams about eating eyeballs. Well, she's using boiled eggs as an eyeball substitute since she can't eat eyeballs without, cutting them out of someone's head. And so I literally, last night before I went to sleep, I wrote down like what I was planning to have for breakfast and for lunch so that there's no decisions that have to be made today, except what I was going to have for breakfast was a couple of boiled eggs. And after laying up there in the bed, oh my gosh, Django just ate. I don't know if it's a dachshund thing or a spoiled dog thing, but every morning after he eats food, he gets one of these stick things. And so he literally cries and cries about it until I give it to him, even though he literally just ate food. So I don't know. Maybe it's because he's spoiled. Maybe it's because he's a dachshund and they like things to be their own way. But anyway, back to the story. I started walking downstairs today, and literally as I was going down the stairs, she was eating another boiled egg and thinking about how it popped in her mouth like she wanted an eyeball to pop. And I was like, oh, I can't have boiled eggs this morning. So I had to change my breakfast plans because I thought I'm going to gag if I try to put a boiled egg in my mouth right now. So anyway, I need to finish this book so I can go back to eating my breakfast as usual. So anyway, like I said, I'm 84% of the way through. I have about an hour left of it. And then the only thing I'll have to do today is finish Barracoon or read all of Barracoon. And I have the physical book as well as on audio. Oh my gosh. Sorry, my eye is very itchy. Okay. So I'm going to take the physical book with me and listen to it on audio. So I'm going to follow along as I read. But first I have some work to do here for some YouTube stuff. So I'm going to do that. But I had to tell you all about my breakfast experience. I mean, this book is just so gross. Like, why do you have to describe? And the actual story, I am absolutely loving. The eyeballs are, the eyeballs are making it very hard for me to read. But anyway, I think it is extremely interesting story about some kind of descent into madness, how things just pile on and you have nobody to talk to and nobody to confide in, and you've got these scary things that are happening. And that brings me to another point. I wasn't planning on talking about this today, but it does make me think about this. So she has these urges about the eyeballs. And I was listening. It was actually, I was flipping through reels. And so it was actually a comedian who was talking about different people when he worked at some kind of hospice situation. And so it was like people at the end of their lives. And he asked people, like, what are you most proud of in your life? And this man said, I am most proud of the fact that even though I have always been attracted to children, I did nothing about it. And so this has been in my head for a really long time. Well, since he said it, I've been thinking about it because I guess I never thought about the people who didn't act on, I'm going to say weird urges, but like we're talking about a girl who wants to eat eyeballs, and what happens if she lives her whole life obsessed with these eyeballs and doesn't do anything about it. And so I thought, we don't ever hear about the people who choose not to do the bad things, like this guy was like, I didn't have a computer. I couldn't have a computer in my house because I didn't trust what I was going to do with it. Like I avoided like he just removed himself from any kind of situation where he felt like it would be a temptation. And part of me was like, what about therapy? Or what about like some kind of medicine? Or like, I just feel like it has to be a brain chemical imbalance situation that makes this a thing that people want to do. I don't know if that's true or not, but it seems like he was just doing everything he could to keep temptation away from him instead of like being proactive and taking it away. Anyway, he also told the guy that he was not upset that he was about to die, that he was kind of glad to be done with what he felt like was a torturous life. And I also have not been able to stop thinking about that. Like, he didn't want to act on the things that he wanted to do, and so he didn't. But apparently that also means that his life was not wonderful. And so I don't know. I've just been thinking about that. That one little couple of statements has really stuck in my head because we always hear about the people who have done the bad things and not about the people who chose not to. So anyway, our girl is, I don't think she's going to choose not to do what she wants to do. But the boiled eggs just ruined my whole breakfast this morning. And I think it's really funny. So anyway, I am going to get to work and I will update y'all, I'm sure tonight when I finish this book and finish Barracoon. So I'll talk about both of those. I'm actually excited about Barracoon. Not that it's going to be any less, like it's still going to be dark. We're interviewing or getting the life of a slave who was one of the last boats that came from Africa as part of the slave trade. So it's definitely not going to be a lighter book, but I think it's going to be heavy in a different way, and I'm looking forward to that. So anyway, I'll check in with y'all tonight, and I'll let you know if I feel like tomorrow maybe I can have boiled eggs. We'll see. Y'all, I don't know what to tell you, but I have finished all the things today. Let me get out of the way. That's not true. I do still have a book that I'm supposed to be reading that I have not finished. Over here, today, I was supposed to get to page 50 on Witch Hat. That's not happened. It's probably not happening today. I just don't want to. So I didn't. I did finish The Eyes Are the Best Part, y'all. We'll talk about it in a minute. I also finished Barracoon, and I just finished One Hit Wonder. It's not even 9 o'clock at my house, so guess what I'm about to read is The Twits, and then I am finished with Battle of the Bands on the 21st of the month. Not even what I was intending to do. Then, if I get picked as an encore reader, I have these 5 books that I'm going to be reading right here. If I don't, I'm still going to read them anyway because I need them for other things, but A Killer's Code I will be starting tonight, probably when I get ready to go to bed. I don't know. That one's kind of scary. Maybe. What do I need to start that might not be scary or Moving Pictures. I can start Moving Pictures and then focus on A Killer's Code tomorrow. So if I need to read something at bed tonight, it's going to be that. But I'm about to start the twits. The twits. Here's my little picture of it. And that's it. That's the last thing. I'm adding it right now to my things. And in between there, I finished The Eyes Are the Best Part. And then I was like, okay, let me start Barracoon. Well, Barracoon was an hour on audio. And I had the physical book, which is over here in my stack. You can't see it. But I had the physical book and I took it to work. Okay. I don't know what's going on with my audio, but sometimes it flashes up real big and everything turns red. So if it's been real choppy up to now, it's because when everything turns red, it records no sound. It's like I've gotten too loud or too high pitched for it to record, even though that's not a thing. But anyway, let me say this again. I had the book with me to listen to the audio and follow along in the book of Barracoon, so I was able to read it faster. And then One Hit Wonder was an hour and a half on audio, so I was able to listen to that when I was finishing up at work, like shelving all the books and stuff. And then when I was driving home, and then just sitting here, I've been home for an hour already. I have finished One Hit Wonder. So The Twits is also going to take me an hour on audio to read it. It's Roald Dahl. It's not going to be difficult or hard to understand or whatever, but it is the last attack that I have on Ian, and that means that I have finished attacking everyone. Let me move it over here. I have finished all the attacks except the Twits, and that is the last one that I have for Ian. So I entered everything. Everything is already done and been entered. And so that's all I have. And then over here, I do still have A Killer's Code is my last Godseer that I have. And then Moving Pictures, Amal, and Witch Hat are the last 3 over here. And then Passions in Death is the last one here. So this list over here, I still have to read. The Secret Lives of Country Gentlemen is the only one that's not on there. And it is because it is one of my other picks. I don't know what it's for. Yes, I do. It's my buzzword pick. So there it is right here that I need to read for the buzzword. I need an animal on the cover, and so I'm sure that there is something that I have already read that would count as that I'm not counting as a buzzword. Like I'm not counting this one because it has an animal in the title and on the cover, but I'm not counting it. So this is where I am. I am reading the last set of books down here. I don't even know what happened. Like, I just finished this. I need to mark it. And there we go. And then I have the Twits. So, Witch Hat. I don't feel like reading it tonight because I want to play Minecraft and listen on audio while I do that. So that's what I'm going to do for the next hour. And then maybe I'll read it a little bit later tonight, but I doubt it. And I'm not going to beat myself up about it. I like it. I think it's a cute book, but I just don't want to pick it up right now and read it. So I'm going to have sprints happening on Thursday and possibly Friday as well this week because I'm off from the library Thursday and Friday, and I will read Witch Hat during those sprints for sure. So I think that is everything for this update. Let me tell you about the books. The Eyes Are the Best Part was incredibly disgusting. Incredibly disgusting. The amount of description that is in this book of eyeballs and biting into eyeballs and biting into things that you want to taste like eyeballs. I'm just saying that I don't know when I'm going to be able to eat boiled eggs again, but it is not going to be this week. That is still true from this morning. No. Okay. Barracoon. So incredibly good. I loved the narration. The guy, his name is not Barracoon, by the way. Also, it's not Cujo Lewis, it's Cudjo Lewis. And also, his name is not even Cudjo. His actual name is Kosula. And he didn't even get to the United States until 1859 to become a slave. He was a slave for 6 years until he was freed. And they were just like, hey, you're free. And he was like, well, now where do we go? We can't live on the land that our people, that our owners. So he approached the owners and he was like, hey, why don't y'all give us some land? Because we can't afford to go back to Africa. That's what they wanted to do. They're like, we're going back. It's only been 6 years. We're going back. Well, they couldn't get any money. And they tried to talk their slave owners, the previous slave owners, into taking them back. And they were like, we don't owe you anything. Oh my gosh. Anyway. So they wouldn't take them back. So they just made an Africa town there where they lived. Anyway, they were just not far from Mobile, Alabama. And Zora Neale Hurston went there and interviewed him when he died in 1935. And in 1859, he was 19 years old. So he was born in 1840 and he died in 1935, 95 years old. And she interviewed him when he was 89 to 90, somewhere around there. Also, she interviewed him in 1931, or I think she may have finished interviewing him and had the book written in 1931 and couldn't get anybody to publish it. He died, still not being published. She died, and it was still not published. Her book about this man was not published until 2018. And then Ibram X. Kendi has taken what she had written, and he is making her words and Cudjoe's words more accessible for young readers. This book was fantastic. So good. So devastating. But well worth the read. So if you like Zora Neale Hurston, if you like Ibram X. Kendi, this is so good. You need to read it. Okay. Then what's the last one? One Hit Wonder. One Hit Wonder is the beginning of a series. Like, it's not really a cozy mystery series, but so this woman, Samantha, she lives in Washington State, and they must live like on the edge of one of the reservations because there's a kind of crossover between the reservation and off the reservation, like back and forth. And she's working with the police as a backup forensic photographer. And so she's filling in for somebody who's not there, and it's like her first week on the job. And she has the flu on top of everything else. So it's just a really bad time. And she gets a call about a wreck. She goes out to the wreck. While she's taking a picture of the wreck, first of all, she throws up on the car and on the deer carcass. And so the police are like, will you get away from the car? But she went to school with the policeman as well. So there's all of that background that she's been in the town the whole time. Anyway, turns out somebody is dressing up like superheroes and robbing some stores, and then they appear to have a copycat. And so other things happen, and she ends up solving the copycat, but not the actual like superhero crime. But anyway, that's the beginning. And so I'm guessing then that we're going to continue hearing from her and from her town. And I like it. So I definitely will read the next one, and we'll just see how it goes from there. But I liked it well enough. I'm only giving it 3.5 stars, but it was good enough to continue. It was too short and not great as far as like given a lot of hints and clues as we go along, but it was definitely good enough to continue in the series. So I will be doing that. And that's it. So I'm going to go read the twits. I'll tell you about it tomorrow when I check in. And I probably won't check in till later tomorrow because I have to get up immediately. I have Bible study first thing, and then I have work until later in the afternoon. So I probably won't check in with y'all tomorrow until later in the day. But very good Monday. Mondays are always the best. And I had a wonderful one. So I'll check in with y'all tomorrow. Okay, y'all, it is Tuesday night. I went ahead and pulled this up so we could see where I'm supposed to be. I can make myself bigger. So I'm supposed to be done with One Hit Wonder, which I finished yesterday. I'm supposed to be done with The Twits, which I finished yesterday, and 3 hours into A Killer's Code, which I think I'm 3 hours in. Let me see. So I have 7 hours left, and it's a 10-hour book. So I am 3 hours in to A Killer's Code, exactly where I'm supposed to be today. Tomorrow I will finish A Killer's Code, and that's all I'm supposed to read. But I could start Passions in Death, and I probably will. It's 10:40 right now, and can't go to bed yet. I'm waiting on a file to finish exporting, and once it's done exporting, then I can go to bed. So I'm just going to sit here and read Witch Hat because I still haven't read any, and tomorrow I want to be on page 100. So I'm going to read Witch Hat, which is right here, and then if I get to page 100 or even close to there, I'll probably put it up and read some more of A Killer's Code, since I want to be finished with it tomorrow. I'm working in the morning. I worked this morning, I had Bible study, and then I worked, and then I came home and did just a couple of edits is all I had to do today. Tomorrow I have one video to film, a video to edit, and then a live stream on my Sims channel, because it's Wednesday night and that's when I do my live streams over there. But otherwise, that's it. Things have gone really well today. I feel a lot better. I think slowly it's just taking me mentally a little bit of time to get back to feeling normal, I guess. I have been told to stop taking the meds because of the reaction that I had. So there will be no more of those meds. And that's okay. It was more of a like, let's try this and see if this is going to help. And now we know that it is not. So anyway, I am trying, I'm going to be talking more about like health journeys in general, and I'm trying to figure out where I want to put that, whether I want to put it on this channel, or I do have another channel that's about exploring and hiking and traveling, and I thought about putting it over there because it is more personal, that one is, and it's about my life more than this channel. This channel is about what I read, but also kind of about my life. So I don't know. This channel has more subscribers than that channel does, so do I want to talk to more people, or do I need to stay in my lane and talk about books over here and not talk about like experimentation that I'm going to be doing on myself to try to figure out what's going on? So I don't know, but that will all get sorted eventually. I think I'm just going to start filming things and talking about what's going on, and then I'll find a place for it at some point. So anyway, I did get a question that I wanted to answer really quickly. And again, if you guys have any questions, feel free to put them under videos anytime and we can talk about it. But the question was, okay, I had to go look it up to make sure I had the question right. But she said, how does having a degree in English affect the way you read books? And I want to say that it doesn't affect it at all, but I don't think that's true. There's a couple of things that I know come into effect because of the education that I had. One of those is not necessarily because I have a degree in English, but more because I taught high school English. And one of the things that I taught was grammar. And so grammar has been ingrained in my head so much because of how much I taught it, and spelling also, that I catch those errors a lot. So if somebody has used the wrong to, what I have found a lot that happens is it's a word that normally, like the word so, S-O, and it gets typed with a D instead of an S because it's right next to it. So it should say so and it says do, but that's still a word. So a spell checker is not going to notice that that is the wrong word because it's just counting it as a word. And so it's things like that that just jump out at me as being wrong. And then, like I said, grammatical issues that books have. And most of the time there's a reason for it. Like maybe it's the way somebody speaks, or maybe it is the way the book was intended to be written. Like I just feel like there's a lot of leeway, especially with fiction books, where I try not to be like a grammar police person and just try to read the book for what it is. That brings me to the second thing. One of the things that I had to do a lot in my English classes was we would have to read a book or a passage or whatever from a certain point of view. And I had a guy in my class who wanted to read every book from an economic point of view. So everything we read, he would always have an economic analysis of the book. And I would have to listen to him talk about the book and how he thought it related to economics. And I wanted to be like, not every book has a secret economic meaning, but he could somehow find one in everything that we read. And I get that that is just the way he is critiquing the book from an economic standpoint, and that's how he sees the book or looks at it. So I kind of try to do the opposite of what I had to do in school and in all the English classes, and I try to read the books without a lens. Like, I'm trying to read the book from just a me perspective. What do I like to read and what do I want to see? And there are times where I have bigger discussions, like especially with the lady that I work with that is an editor. Like, I do have discussions with her where I'm like, why do you think the author chose to do this? And we have like deeper discussions about it. But also, I try to think about what I think the author is intending, and not as like oh, they broke the rule, you're not supposed to do that when you write this kind of thing. Because I feel like part of the fun of fiction is being able to explore and kind of mess with the rules of writing and change things up from the way they've always been or the way they're supposed to be. And so I don't know that it's affected me in a this is what I do, more as in a this is what I don't do kind of way. But yeah, it definitely has had an effect, because there are things that I have avoided reading because I had to read them in school or I was assigned to read them. But there are things that I have found that I love and discovered new authors because of somebody else that I read or was forced to read in school, and I fell in love with it. And so it's got pros and cons, and definitely good and bad for my reading experiences. But that is it. If you guys have any questions, like I said, leave them below. I'm going to go read. This book is on the video is on the very last thing it has to do to finish editing. So I'm going to read Witch Hat, and then I'm going to read more of A Killer's Code, and I will check in with y'all tomorrow. Y'all, this month is almost done. We have 1 week from tomorrow left in this month. Okay, it's Wednesday night. It is 10 p.m. I am done, except I've read more of Witch Hat, but I'm not on page 100. I'm on page 80 something. No, 70. I'm on page 70. I am not going to read anymore tonight, but I did make my wheel for tomorrow. I can give you all a little peek at my wheel. Here it is. And it is, Witch Hat is on there, and I'm going to leave it on there. If I land on it, I'm going to read during that time, and then I'm not taking it off. I'm going to leave it on there so that I maybe can read more during my sprints tomorrow. I'm not going to have a ton of time to sprint tomorrow because I have a dentist appointment at 10 in the morning, and then Wesley and I are going to grab some lunch at possibly Qdoba. I need to know how y'all pronounce that, because Qdoba is how some of the people that I work with say it, as if it were a K and not a Q. And then I've always said Qdoba, but now I'm like, is it Qdoba? So I need somebody to tell me. Are we saying the Q, or are we pretending like there's a K? Just let me know. I finished A Killer's Code. So good. Well, first of all, the Twits that I finished yesterday, which I actually finished late Monday night, that finished my Battle of the Bands for me. Let me show y'all this. That's it. Oh, I'm covering it up. There it is. I was finished with the Twits, and I never entered it. So I went and entered it tonight, and I said, do I need to be activated as an encore reader? Because I have these 5 books picked right here. And I literally finished A Killer's Code tonight, and she said, no. You already have 2 encore readers on your team, and that's all your team qualifies for, so you don't have to worry about it. So as far as Battle of the Bands is concerned, I read my 20 and I'm done. Then over here with the girls, as you can see, Adrienne is now finished. She has completed her semester of school and done really well. Passions in Death is what I'm reading next, which is right here for Emmeline, and she will be done with her Moon Warden. And then I have 3 books left for Rift Architect, and Moving Pictures is after Passions in Death, and then this is Witch Hat, which I'm reading right now, and then Amal Unbound is coming. So things are just moving along excellently. Oh, also, I finished A Killer's Code, which was the last one that I needed for the TBR trail. So that is all finished, which is good, because I think the cutoff is tomorrow night, and now I don't have to worry about it. That was why I moved things around in my figures and redid some things over here. So here's what it looks like. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 audiobooks and 1 graphic novel left. Everything is still looking to be on schedule over here on this side. Let me say that this is no longer today and this is tomorrow, and I'm going to read 8 hours of Passions in Death, and that is a 14-hour audiobook. So I'm reading until there's 7 hours left, and that's when I'm going to stop. And then I said ultimately I want to be on page 125 in Witch Hat. We'll see where I get, because like I said, I'm reading multiple times tomorrow. So if I go past 125, I'm just going past 125. And the wheel that I have created is actually for my stream tomorrow and then a stream on Friday. I think I'm going to stream for a long time on Friday. So I'm going to stream both days because I'm not working at the library. So, and I put everything on here that I needed to get done Thursday and Friday. So I shouldn't be adding any new things to the wheel. It should just be like it is for the next 2 days. So I think that's it. I am feeling amazing. I know I told y'all last night that my doctor said not to take the medicine anymore. And I think that was really worrying me, the taking of the medicine and then the potential side effects. So just that, knowing that I don't have to take it anymore. I slept better last night. I feel good today. Yeah, I feel really good. I ate more today than I've eaten in like 3 days. And but tomorrow night, we also have date night, which is why I can't sprint for as long as I want to tomorrow, because we have date night and we're going into town for it, for an auction that they're doing. We cannot afford the auction. We're just mostly going for the silent auction part that might have cheaper things that we might be able to participate in. The other one, the actual auction, is going to be way too expensive for us. But in the midst of the rest of it, I need to work on my reading the audiobook. So I'm actually going to start it right now. Like I said, it's 10 o'clock at night. I am doing a little bit of stuff on Minecraft with my friends, and then I'm going to go up to bed. So I'm going to listen to the book while I do that. And I think that's all. I have some stuff that I'm excited that's coming up. And so I just want to tell everybody about everything. But I mean, we need to wait. I need to be patient and just know that I'm excited about May and the fun things that I'm going to do on the channel in May before my life gets turned upside down in the month of June because we're moving. So May is going to be the last like stable month here at the house. And so I'm going to enjoy it and hopefully read some good books and at least play some fun games. So anyway, that's it for tonight. I will check in with y'all tomorrow. Hey, okay, it's Thursday night. I was supposed to be halfway through Passions in Death, but y'all, I finished the whole thing. Part of it was that I started it last night, which gave me a little bit of a jump start on it. And then I woke up at 5 this morning and I couldn't really go back to sleep. Oh, I forgot that I still had earrings. They're peanut butter and jelly. Aren't they cute? Okay, anyway, I couldn't really go back to sleep, so I started listening to the book, and I listened for like 2 hours, and then I slept for another hour, and then I finally got out of the bed. So then I listened today. Whenever I had the opportunity, I did sprints on my channel, but when I wasn't sprinting, I listened to Passions in Death, and I finished it. It's so good. I'm actually only giving it 4 stars. I usually give these between 4 and 4.5, but I'm going with 4 because I felt like there was a lot of like repeating things in the middle where Eve and Peabody kind of knew who they thought what the killer was, but they went back and forth too many times for me. So it kind of slowed it down, but still really good. Really good. I cannot believe this is book number 59. Also, Susan Erickson does the audio for every single in-death story. And when I hear her start talking, it makes me happy. I'm like, oh, yes, this is Eve. I've never heard her do another book, and I don't know if I could. Like, I have read, this is book number 59, but that's not counting all the half books, like all the novellas in between. So I think there's like 67 or something that I have listened to Susan Erickson read, and she is Eve Dallas to me, and I cannot hear it any other way. So anyway, it was so good. And what that means is I am going to continue next on the list, which is moving pictures, But first, we're going to look over here where we're supposed to be. So I was supposed to get to 125 in Witch Hat, which I did that. I actually got to page 126 in Witch Hat. So that's all done. And then I was supposed to get 8 hours into Passions out of 14. And I did all 14 hours. So Passions and Death is finished. I need to, Moving Pictures is next. And I mean, technically, tomorrow I don't even have to read any of, no, that's not true. 2 hours of it I'm supposed to read tomorrow. Well, I'm going to start that tonight. So I'm definitely going to read an hour of it tonight, probably. And then I will read Witch Hat tomorrow, 25 pages of that tomorrow. And then finish Hidden Pictures the next day. I might be able to finish Hidden Pictures tomorrow. It depends on what I roll. I do have it on my wheel, and I am sprinting tomorrow to do more reading or / getting things done. It just feels like as I'm getting closer to the end of the month that I'm having a hard time like making myself stop because I just want to be done. Like I want to be finished with these last books, which I have Moving Pictures, then The Secret Lives of Country Gentlemen, then The Running Man, and Amal Unbound. And that's it. I'm done. And The Secret Lives of Country Gentlemen is actually longer on audio, but less pages than Moving Pictures. I don't understand that, but that's fine. Anyway, we will, I'll just see what I get done tomorrow and I will report back in. I think I'm probably going to extend this video to just be the whole rest of those books. So like when this video is over, I will just have all of those books read. I think that is what I'm going to do right now. You guys will know how much time is left in this video, so you'll know whether or not I did that. But I should be back here tomorrow to report in on Moving Pictures and at least let you know where I am and what's going on. But anyway, today was also a really wonderful day because my son got engaged. Not the 18-year-old Wesley, but my 21-year-old son got engaged. Okay, that is it. And I will see y'all tomorrow after I have gotten some sleep and done a lot of sprints. Okay, it is Friday night. I just got back from my friend's house. So we went and sat out by the fire pit. It is so cold outside. Ooh. So anyway, I did, though, finish Witch Hat Atelier today, which means I am done with all physical reads for this month. I finished them all, and I do think that while I'm not going to be doing this system again where I'm tracking everything I'm reading like this, I'm going to do that. I'm going to continue to do that for these physical books that I want to get read, especially for physical books that I need to have read for something. Like I've got some for her kid that I know I need to read. So I'm going to put those on a thing every month. And I think that's probably not something I'm going to worry about sharing unless y'all just want to see what the plans are. Otherwise, I'm just going to like set it up in the background and do it that way. I did finish Witch Hat today. So let me put Thin on there. And Hidden Pictures. Hidden Pictures? What? It's called Moving Pictures. It's the Discworld book, and it has 10 hours. I was supposed to read 2 hours in it, and I read 8 hours, so I have 2 hours left in it. So I'm definitely going to finish that tonight or early tomorrow, and that's all I was supposed to do tomorrow, but I'm definitely going to be starting The Secret Lives of Country Gentlemen. I think now that I'm getting here close to the end, oh, here's Skeeter in the camera. Now that I'm getting closer to the end of the month, I just want it to be done. Like, I just want these books to be finished. And so if I read at 2 times speed, I have 24 divided by 2, 12 hours of reading left to finish everything that I have, well, plus 1. So 13 hours of reading left to finish every book that I wanted to read this month. And I still have 5 days. So it's definitely not going to be a problem. It's definitely going to get done. The one thing that I'm going to be adding is, let me see if I'm out of the way enough. One of the books that I need to read for May is The Phantom over here by Gina Showalter for the eyes prompt. But before I read that, I need to read The Immortal. And I may have already read this, but I don't remember until I start reading it again, and then I might be like, oh yeah, I remember, but maybe I won't remember. So I think I'm going to pick that up at the very end of May and finish it so that I'm ready to go for, well, I said May, for April, so that I'm ready to go for May and read The Phantom. So that is pretty much everything. Let me show you where I am in, well, first of all, The Secret Lives of Country Gentlemen, let me get out of the way, is my April buzzword cover challenge. And so I will be reading that next. So that's going to get done. And over here, Moving Pictures is what I'm reading right now. I just finished Witch Hat, so I'm going to go over and enter that. And then Amal Unbound, I will be reading the last book. That's the last book I'm reading in the month. So I will be all done with Aurelium. I will have everybody finished all their classes, which is great. So I think that's everything. There is a secret project that I'm working on that involves this book. That's all I'm showing you about it. And another one. And so, but I'm going to be filming that. I think I'm going to start it tonight, and then we'll just see how long it takes me to film it. I don't know when that's going to come out, but I really enjoyed Witch Hat Atelier, and I will definitely be reading the next books in the series. So I'm just trying to decide. I mean, I totally want to own them, but I'm trying to decide the best way of going about it. Like, I might be able to find used copies of at least a few of these. So maybe instead of ordering one, I will just keep an eye out for them and see when I can, when I see them. I think that's what I'll do. So, okay, that's all for tonight. I will check back in with y'all tomorrow. And really all I have to do is finish Moving Pictures at some point tomorrow. So that'll be done. And I will check in with y'all then. I'll be working at the library all day tomorrow, so no reading will be happening from 11 to 6, but the rest of the time, I have plenty of time to read. Well, good morning. It is Sunday morning, and I totally forgot last night to come in here and update. I kept thinking I need to go update, and I just didn't. Anyway, let me get out of the way and show you. I was supposed to finish Moving Pictures yesterday, which I did. And that's it. I wasn't supposed to start anything else, but I did. I started The Secret Lives of Country Gentlemen. I didn't read a ton of it. I mostly watched YouTube yesterday, but I am 3.5 hours in already, and I need to be 8 hours in by the end of today. So I'm probably going to finish it today. It's only 11 hours total, and if I'm already 3 hours in, I might as well just finish it. I don't have a very busy day today. I have church, and then let me show y'all. I'm already in the room waiting. Right here, the TBR quest is happening. The live stream is happening in 3 hours. I'm already here. I've already liked it. It says one waiting. That's been me. I've been waiting since last night when I loaded it up. So I have that going on this afternoon, and then we're going to play our family Minecraft for a little while, and then that's it. And I've got Country Gentleman, Running Man, and Amal Unbound, and I'm finished. I'm also, the only one of these last 3 books that I have to enter in Aurelium is Amal Unbound. So The Secret Lives of Country Gentlemen is for my buzzword cover, and then The Running Man is for the Stephen King read-along, and then Amal is for Aurelium. And then that's it. I'm done. I will come back to you with thoughts of how this whole thing went at the end of the month. I am going to do a separate wrap up. I know I said earlier in this video that I was going to finish out the month, but I'm actually going to end it right here. And then I'm going to finish the last 3 books over the next 4 days and finish everything out and wrap up like the whole month and just talk about my experiment, how I thought it went, and why I'm probably never doing it again. But that's not true. I'm taking aspects of it forward with me, just not the whole thing. So I'll talk about that in the next one. Overall, it's been a really great month. I had a couple of days where I didn't read anything. This was an absolute crap day on Saturday the 19th, but the rest of the month has been great. It's gone exactly the way I wanted it to. So the experiment proves that I can do reading like this. I just don't love doing reading like this. So That is going to be it for this one, though. Moving Pictures, I didn't tell you about, but it's another Discworld novel. This one was, I don't know, it was had moments where I thought it was so incredibly cute. I feel like the middle probably went on a little bit too long. I went ahead and gave it 4 stars, but it might be more like 3.5 to 4. Overall, though, the actual aspect of it and the Hollywood comparison aspects and all of the stuff about making movies, like, I thought that was so cleverly done and so cleverly like linked back to Hollywood, actual Hollywood stuff. It was so good. And it had talking animals at one point, which is always my favorite. So anyway, it was really cute, really good. I mean, more of the same of the Discworld. So I liked it. Not my favorite one, but I liked it. And now I'm ready to move on to the next one. That is it. Thank you so much for watching and joining me on a very ordinary week of reading that started out maybe not so ordinary. And I will see you in the next one. Bye.